Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be on this look right here, which I achieved using the infamous Jaclyn Hill palette. I wanted to do a summer nights kind of makeup look, and for me that means something very like highlighted and very dewy, something very like smoked out and simple, nothing too defined, and a little bit of a fun lip. So that is what I did today, and I did the full tutorial, so you're going to see how I did complexion, the products that I mixed together to get a very dewy skin look, and it doesn't look as shiny as it does under these lights. I did go a little bit over with my nose highlight, and I couldn't fix it, so just kind of ignore that. But the cheekbone kind of has the right idea. I did want to do the cupid's bow and the chin as well. And I love how nice and like diffused the eye look is. So I'm going to take you guys step by step so you can see how I did it and you guys can recreate it at home. Before we continue, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button down below, guys. It's always really appreciated. It shows me that you guys are liking what I'm posting. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. Now let's just go ahead and start this tutorial. Alright guys, so I already did my eyebrows because it's a very long, boring process, and I didn't feel like filming it. If you guys want to see how I fill in my eyebrows, I have an eyebrow tutorial somewhere on my channel. I'll make sure to link it down below. So first things first, I'm going to do complexion today. So for primer, I'm going to use this one right here. This is the Optical Illusions complexion primer. This is the smoothing one. I've never been able to use a smoothing primer before that didn't like sit on top of my skin and like rolled up when I put something else on top. This is the only one that really like fills in my pores and just stays put for me. Now for foundation, I'm going to use my favorite, the Born This Way foundation. The color I'm using in this one is not warm nude. I lied. Alright, this is the one I'm going to use. So the color I'm using is Porcelain, which is a perfect match to my skin right now. And I'm not going to use it by itself because I want that summery glow in my foundation. I'm going to mix it with something else as well. So I'm going to do a couple of pumps of the Born This Way. And then I'm going to use this right here. This is from Augenus. They're luminizing drops. I know like LC Cosmetics has some. You could use the primer from Marc Jacobs. Just any drops that you have that are highlighting, you can mix in with your foundation. I could also do my Cover FX ones, but those are a little bit more intense, so I'm going to just mix it with these for right now. So that's going to be how much I put of that, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix it. So this is my Morphe E8 brush. I'm just going to get the back of it and make sure everything is mixing together. And I'm just going to apply it. Alright, so now that I have it kind of everywhere, I'm going to get my damp beauty blender and I'm just going to push the foundation in my skin. I left some of the mixture for wherever I need a little bit more coverage. Alright, so I think I'm going to add a little bit more coverage right here. And very lightly tap with my beauty blender, like barely touching my skin. And that way we'll keep the coverage there. So I think I'm going to leave the foundation at this for now, and I'm going to start concealing, and then if I have anything to tweak, I'll just go back to the foundation and do that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my YSL color corrector, and I'm going to apply it wherever I see that I need a little bit of color correction, which for me, it's that area right there that you see. So I'm going to grab the tip of my beauty blender and bounce the product into my skin, just like that. You see how that this took all of that purple hue away, so now we're going to conceal on top of it. So I think for concealer I'm going to stick to YSL just because I don't have a lot of concealers that are like luminizing or radiant, and this is a great one. So concealer I'm going to kind of put on and drag it a little bit. And of course this way we'll also highlight with it. And I like to take it all the way to the inner corner. Just like that. I'm going to do a little bit down the bridge of my nose, a little bit here, and the center of the forehead as well. So just like this, and I'm going to grab my beauty blender, and with the part that's not used, so like the center part kind of, we're going to bounce it in. I'm going to grab my RCMA setting powder. With my Sephora collection number 79 brush, I'm just going to kind of put it in there. And I like to kind of work it into the brush. And just in case anything creased, which look, it did. It's creasing down there. I'm going to grab my beauty blender and lightly tap underneath my eye. And then I'm going to grab the brush and I'm going to press and roll all the way to the inner corner from the outer corner. Basically, the lines under our eyes go from the inside out, so you want to apply powder from the outside in, kind of like in a rolling and pressing motion, and that way you're going to ensure that you set every single little line under there. Once you know you've applied makeup product everywhere, you can kind of sweep away any excess, which I didn't put a lot on, so there shouldn't be any excess really. And now with the tiniest bit more product, I'm just going to press that around my nose, in the middle of my forehead, and my chin. So now I'm going to jump to the eyes really quickly, and then we'll do the rest of the face. For the eyes, I'm going to be using my Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I'm still obsessing over it. It's amazing. I'm going to start with this brush right here. This is the Morphe M504, and I'm going to grab the color Silk Cream and put it on the crease of my eye, from inner to outer corner. Just very, very faintly and diffused. I think I'm going to use this brush for a couple of the products because this brush really makes sure that everything looks like nice and blown out, and that's what I'm going for. So then I'm going to grab the color MFEO and I'm going to kind of run it on top of it, of the first product we applied, just for a little bit more dimension. I'm going to grab the color Puder and again do the outer corner thing with the same brush. I'm just not running it as high this time as the first couple of products. Alright, so let me explain to you guys, in case you don't have this little paper with the names in front of you. This was the first color I used right here, then I used this one, and now I'm using this one here. And I'm running this underneath my eye too, so that I get a really like overall blown out effect. So now I'm going to grab my Sephora collection number 10 brush and the color Roxanne. Yes, Roxanne, which is this color right here, and we're going to further smoke out that crease. Let me distribute that. I think I did a little bit too much. We are working that color Roxanne into our smokiness right here. So now I'm going to use the color Beam, which is this color right here, and I'm going to put it on my eyelid. For this I'm using a flat shader brush. This happens to be the Sephora number 15 brush. And I'm going to start where I want the color to be more visible, like the strongest, and then I'm going to blend it to where it doesn't need to be as defined. And I'm going to grab that same color and I'm going to put it right underneath the eyebrow. And I like to start at the highest point and blend it down and a little bit inwards. That way, again, I'm having the most shine where I want the most shine to be. So now, to make this a little bit more intense and a little bit more interesting, I'm going to get a little bit of Mist and Fix from Makeup Forever. I bought the small size of this just because I only use it for this purpose, just to wet my shadows. So I'm going to spray my brush. And I'm going to go back to that color Beam. And again, starting where I care for it the most, I'm going to press it into my eyelid for a good, nice shine. I also want this to be in the inner corner of my eye. So just like that. And now that I have what I thought I wanted, I think I'm going to add a little bit more darkness, especially to underneath the eye. I'm going to grab this tiny blending brush right here. This is the Morphe M506. And I'm going to grab the color Jax, which is this color right here. And I'm going to put a little bit of this one underneath my eye and in the outer corner as well. I'm going to drag it from underneath the eye to the outer corner of my eye so that it looks nice and continuous there. Like, I don't want it to break. And then work it to the outer corner of the eye. I'm going to grab a brush that has nothing on it. I think this one. This is just the Morphe M441. Any clean blending brush will work. And I'm just going to make sure that everything again is nice and blended. I feel like I dragged the color down too much right here. I'm going to get a little bit of translucent powder and fix that. And I'm also going to put a little bit more shadow right there. I'm going to grab this color right here. The color is Sissy. And I'm going to put this one kind of on the outer third of my eyelid. Just like that, very lightly. It makes for a smoother transition from that outer very warm color to the color that I have all over my eyelid. So I'm grabbing the E47 Morphe brush and tapping some translucent powder underneath my eye. And I'm just going to leave it there for now to see if it cleans up that little bit of mess up that I did there. Okay, so now while that powder is resting there, we're going to go back to the face. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some bronzer. So I think today I'm going to use my Hoola bronzer by Benefit. This is the small little size of it. And I'm going to apply it with the R10 brush by Morphe. I like to concentrate it right here at the end and then work it into the hairline around that area there. And then we're going to go around the forehead. And I like to take my powder around my forehead because I have a bigger forehead. If you have a small forehead, you might not need to put any bronzer on it or just do the temples. And then I'm going to go from the back of the ear down to the chin. And I like to blend it down my neck as well. So now I think that whatever powder we put under there has been resting there for long enough. So I'm going to go back with my Sephora number 79 brush that we applied powder with, and I'm going to swipe it away. And see, I think that's a cleaner edge than what I had there previously. And now we're going to highlight, and because this is a summer look, I want to be very nicely highlighted. So I'm going to use my same Augenist drops that I used to mix in with my foundation, and I'm going to bring in my Cover FX drops in the color Sunlight. These are amazing, and we're going to put that on the highest points of our face. That's my little bit of my Augenist drops, and I'm going to add a couple of drops of my Cover FX. I'm mixing them together with the back of a brush. This is just my brush that I use for my eyeshadow, and why not, I'm going to apply it with the back of my brush. Now with this Cover FX drops, you really can't wait, so I'm going to go straight in with my beauty blender. So I'm just little by little adding a little bit more of this highlight with the sponge. I'm just grabbing it and then placing it and blending it. So I'm putting a little bit on my forehead. I want to be very highlighted because it's summer, it's nighttime. We want to be glowing. I look like Tin Woman now, but that's okay. I was going for that look. And I'm just reapplying a little bit to the highest points of my cheekbones because that's where I want the most of it to be. And I did a little bit right here, like a C shape around my eyebrow. This is the R37 brush by Morphe. I'm going to make it my contour brush today. I'm not really going to contour my nose, but I do like to kind of match it up with the rest of me. So I do like to put a little bronzer on it. So I'm going to do the tip here. I like to start at the tip because that's what I want to hide the most, because my nose is like... So I like to start with the tip and blend it upwards. I think I put way too much highlight on my nose. Can I fix it though? I don't know. I don't think we're gonna fix it. I think we're just going to embrace it. So, excuse my super highlighted nose. maybe don't do that yourself at home, but we are just going to leave it like that for now because that's just the way it happened. So yeah. I've been obsessing over this California blush by Benefit. I love it. I think what I like most about it is how buildable it is. Because I'm not an orangey or peachy blush person to begin with, but this one I love. I'm going to apply it with my Morphe E4 brush. I like to start at the apples of the cheekbone and blend it into whatever like bronzer or highlight we have going on. Okay, so now because I don't want to be done highlighting, I'm going to bust out my Anastasia Nicole Guerriero palette, and we are going to highlight a little bit more with this one. So I'm going to grab my favorite highlighting brush, which is the Sephora collection number 98, and I think I want to mix Glow Getter with Forever Young. And starting at the tops of the cheekbones. Oh yes. I'm going to just kind of work that in and blending in into everything else I have going on. Alright, so the complexion is done. I'm going to apply mascara. I'm going to grab my L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara, which I'm still obsessing over. This stuff is amazing. Did you guys see that video where I compared it to my favorite high-end mascara? That was crazy. If you haven't checked it out, I'm going to link it down below for you guys to see it. Alright guys, so I'm done applying the mascara. I ended up doing it off camera because I feel like from far away I was applying more mascara on my eyelids than I did eyeshadow. So I had to get a little bit closer up to my mirror in order to do the mascara. The last step would be to apply a lipstick. Since we did a more tamed eye look, I think I could get away with wearing a lipstick that's not a nude. So I think I'm going to get Pepper from Bite. I love that lipstick and I think it would go great with this look. This is my number 16 Bite pencil, lip pencil. Alright, and then this is the Bite lipstick in Pepper. I only have the little one of it, but I love it. Lashes, I'm going to use Fake Awake here by Tarte for eyeliner on my waterline. And then for a finishing spray, I'm going to use this one by First Aid Beauty. This is the Vital Greens Face Mist. This is going to refresh the makeup, set the makeup. It's great for sensitive skin and really, really hydrating. It's got nice skin benefits for you. I love it. And alright guys, so this is the final look. This is my summer nighttime look. I really like the glowiness of it and how there's like no harsh lines. Everything's nice, simple, and diffused. I'm really enjoying it. This is what I would wear to like a date night, or I don't know, just if I go out at night and it's summertime. I really like how glowy and dewy my face looks. I chose not to put false lashes on. If you want to add false lashes to this look, obviously you can. I'm just keeping it nice and simple. And yeah, this is the final look. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys like it, what you think of it. If you have any suggestions for upcoming videos, also write it in the comments down below. I always look at those and see what to do next. Before you go, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button down below and subscribe to my channel. It's always really appreciated. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.